I think I got everything ready. Should we go? We should go.
I think we should go because it hasn't been quite 2 weeks. When I first went down, we did finish that Super Mario Brothers 2 show.
About a week and a half,
on a leg,
right?
Yeah,
we
missed a week. Yeah, but so it's okay.
Something like that. Yeah, there was a hurricane, people. All right,
hurricane. There was a hurricane.
There was a hurricane, and Brian was adversely affected by said hurricane.
Hurricane came through and said, "You got power? Nope, not anymore."
By the way, the town in southern Utah just before St. George is literally called Hurricane. It's spelled
hurricane, yes.
It's spelled hurricane, but it's pronounced.
Yeah, people call it hurricane. You
hurricane.
refer to city. I think it's right. That's how you use a hurricane.
Yeah,
that's how they say it.
Yeah. It's a cool little town. It's got Wilford Brimley's
mustache.
They kept his diabetes and his mustache there after he died. No, it's his big. He's got a huge ranch down there, and his family runs it now. But that guy was.
Is it a sugar ranch? What is it?
I don't know. It was nothing but like, what do you call it? Corn syrup ranch.
That was corn syrup. Yeah. All we do is we grow corn syrup. You mean you grow corn, then you make syrup? Nope. Corn syrup.
I grow that corn syrup out there in the 40.
Comes right out of the we drill it right out of the ground.
That's
corn
right.
Syrup.
That's right. Damn it. All right. Let's record. Here we go. It begins. Our show this week in 3, 2, 1. That's all I got. There's no commercials.
That was it. I love it.
No commercials. Nobody advertised this game. Forget it. Hey everybody, welcome back to Play Retro. That's right, this is Play Retro, and I'm one of your hosts, Scott Johnson, and I'm busy living out my fantasy as a floating sexy man, shooting everything in my path. I am a man's man, and I take no guff. Bask in the glow of my weird aura, and be afraid.
Oh, so afraid. And I'm your other host, Brian Dunaway, and I'm ready to flex muscles, strike poses, and eat protein as I fly through space, dispatching birdmen and flying heads and babies like some kind of Flesh Gordon looking for a super big brother good time. Show enough.
Flesh Gordon looking for a super big brother good time. Fantastic. Hey, y'all, we're talking about Cho Anika, or Super Big Brother. You're sitting there, many of you are sitting there going, I'm sorry, what? And we're saying, don't worry, we'll explain. We'll get to it.
We got all your Cho Aniki right here, Super Big Brother.
That's
Japanese
right.
Weirdo game.
Perfect time for us to cover it, I think, because it's so weird. It almost fits in Halloween, the Halloween kind of season. And it's also insane. So if you want something insane.
And a new version of it is coming out for the Switch. I don't know if it's going to come to America. I can't read the Japanese website, but they're going to re-release Cho Aniki and a Cho Aniki for this Switch in Japan for sure. Maybe
maybe
give
here.
Us please give us it. We want it.
Well, they were super hot in Japan, these games. We'll get into that too.
They were super hot, all right.
Yeah, but they were less so here. They didn't really release too much here. So we'll talk about it and why there's such a huge fan following. I have some theories as to why people love these games. We'll get into it.
I have a real good theory about why people love these games and why I'm now a lover of these games.
Oh, you've converted, have you?
I am a true Cho Aniki believer.
You've bought in. All right. Well,
I bought in.
Before we get into it, let's talk about a couple of quick side notes here for the week. Victory Heat Rally came out, and you're like, Scott, what is that? Ooh. And I'm going to mention it. I talked about it on Core, so you may have heard it there, some of you. But Victory Heat Rally is a retro-inspired racing game that has taken me by storm a little bit. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be as cool as it is, and it's super rad. So it is this game that is a combination of 3D courses and 2D sprites. Think maybe like, I don't know, like
a cart game.
It's like a cart game,
original, right?
Yeah, a little bit. But also, what if you said Sega made it? It's kind of got that vibe. There's a lot of Outrun kind of vibes.
So it's got more of the it's got the blast processing in it. I got you.
Yeah, they definitely got blast processing. I mean, listen to the way this thing intros. Let me get some audio going here. Let me pull back. Okay.
Welcome to Victory Heat Rally.
Like, I mean, it sounds like you're playing like a Sega arcade game or a Saturn or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
and listen to these races. Like, let's see.
Focus.
Hold on. Yeah. I want to hear it count down.
They went full in. They got the little hands, everything for selections.
Yeah, I can't find the scene I'm looking for, but the countdown's like 3, 2, 1, go!
Daytona. Oh,
Yeah, and the music's very, very, very of the era, right?
Right.
So, whoops, I don't know why that's up over there. Anyway, I played this game. I'm still playing it a ton. It's great on Steam Deck, good on computer. I got it on Steam. I assume you can get it in other places, but it does the whole the main mechanic of the game is drifting like Mario Kart. So you hold down one of the triggers, it throws you in, and if you're turning left, throws you into a skidding kind of what do you call that?
Drifting. So you're drifting essentially. So that's
And then you build up a little meter, and that meter, when it hits the maximum, it creates a boost, and so that's how you win races.
That is classic. That is classic rally behavior, right?
Yeah. Except you don't have like power ups. None of that stuff's in here. Although there are special stages where you got to hit all the cones, or you got to try to avoid all the whatevers, and it's kind of hard. It's difficult, or it ramps up anyway. It gets more difficult as you go. It's very arcadey, very straightforward, and super cool. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you have some love for that kind of stuff from back in the day, and even just that audio inspires something in you, because it did me. It felt like Wave Races intros is what it reminded me of.
So colorful.
Yeah.
Like you said, I love the sprite work that I'm seeing. You've only got so many angles of the car, so it's easy to see how far your car is turning, because it looks like there's maybe 6 or 8 sprites worth of turns on each way.
Yep.
So I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a very interesting aesthetic, just generally speaking.
Victory, Heat, Rash.
Heat, Rash.
Heat,
yep.
Rally.
Yep. Oh, Rally. Sorry, not Rash. That's a different problem I have. You can also rear end cars if you do it during the turbo part, like when you do a drift and then you hit it right. You can hit other cars and it will kill them. It will just destroy them.
Oh, I love that. So we got kind of a Rocket League kind of thing. If you hit them fast enough, they'll blow them up.
A little bit. Cool. Yeah, a little bit. And it's great because you can just eliminate the competition.
What if you hit a tree?
You die, you explode, and then you come back into the race.
Okay.
Oh, there's
so outrun. So think outrun. Okay.
Basically outrun. I shouldn't say that you don't kill them. They do come back, but you essentially eliminate them because they get pushed way behind you. Once you hit them. But very cool little game, and I think it's only was it $10? Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's the right price for this game. You're right. I just watched him. He did a couple of drifts, got a little power up, and then he burst into somebody, and then he didn't just explode. He shot them across the screen.
Yeah, that's really good. Oh, here we go.
Is this multiplayer?
97% on reviews so far. It is not multiplayer, just single player, I think. Let me double check that.
Right. Maybe it's coming.
I take that back. Shared/split screen PvP is available.
Oh, PvP.
Yeah, but I think that's like a couch thing. I don't think it's online.
But still, we can. You got that remote play stuff on the Steam, so we could play. Still play together, right?
Yeah, you absolutely could.
Yeah, I would love to destroy you with this.
Yeah, it's really fun. It splits the screen in half, top to bottom. Looks like when you do it. The price is normally $19, is currently $16.99 US. So on sale for its launch, 15% off. I think it's worth grabbing. It's a very cool little game, and having a ball with it. So check that out.
I'm glad. Give me something simple like, I love the character designs too. You got your little chief. He pops up and tells you what you're supposed to be doing. I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of those bits are like they have little story bits that remind me of like Advance Wars conversations.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Little anime people coming out telling you what to do. It's great.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say anime people. They're just,
they're just people. But I get your meaning though, because they do kind of look anime-ish.
Yeah. There's a video game thing there. It's kind of hard to explain. All right, Brian, what'd you get up to? I know you've been dealing with the aftermath of a hurricane, and it's wrecking town and everything. But you've had some time for some stuff. What'd you do?
Yeah, we escaped our hometown and went down to Savannah, which for the most part didn't get hit nearly as bad as we did during Hurricane Helene. And so I was down there with everybody, including Brian Ibbett,
Mhm.
Tonda Gosa, also another great retro gamer. And I went to a bunch of Savannah stores. There's like a little strip down there. And one of the places I went to had a bunch of retro stuff, and it's called Planet Fun.
Mm.
And I went back to the backside of it, and there was a bunch of old school stuff, and I picked up an Orange Spice GameCube controller because I'm still hoping I can get this. This was never released in the US, by the way. The Japanese Orange Spice GameCube was never released in the US. I've been trying to get a hold of the system itself. I have found some systems with no controllers, so now I'm prepared with the controller, and I'm prepared for my Orange Spice GameCube.
What did you pay for that controller? What's the price on that bugger now these days?
It was a 50 even, which is not a great price, but not bad. I
Not
mean,
bad if it works.
yeah, and it's the real deal. It's got a couple of nicks. It's not a perfect controller, but not bad. I messed around with the stick to make sure it felt good, because some of these sticks can sometimes get a little loose. I got my little orange stick over here.
That's stupid little
I like the
C-pad.
nipple.
No,
I like the nipple.
you don't like the
And
nipple. You think you do, but you don't.
Didn't Miyamoto have some stuff to do with this? Because he made sure it's like, oh, we need a different. I could be retro history and hero, but seems like he had something to do with it. But I still think the GameCube controller is so interesting. I love that you can feel different shapes that tell you where you're at on this controller, like the big orange action button. Your back button's a little small red button below it.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of more oblong buttons, and then you got some shoulder buttons. You got a little extra button up here with the purple. But I've always thought this is a great controller. I like how it fits in my hand. I like that I can find everything through not through visual touch, but through tactile touch.
Yeah.
Tactile touch, is that a thing?
Tactile touch.
Just doubling up. Tactile touch. I think tactile is the touch. But anyway, really enjoyed that. Shout out to all the great retro stores down at Savannah. And I'll tell you this, I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to Savannah for the explicit idea to find retro stuff. And when you happen upon a retro store, it's always super overwhelming, because I'm like, what was I supposed to be getting?
Mhm.
I have a list of stuff
Mhm.
that I wanted to get. And you start walking around, you realize you're going to be in there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
You can't do that when you got people with you. So
Yeah.
I just didn't buy anything, except for I saw this and I was like, yeah, I know I need that. So give me it.
Yeah. Give it to me, you would say.
Give me it.
Well, that's great. You're always picking up cool shit at local stores. I love it. Support those.
And if anybody's
local stores.
got a lead on a Spice GameCube, just
Orange Spice, is that the official color? Is that?
I think it's orange. I think it's Orange Spice. Or have I just gotten it wrong? Let me take a look.
I have no
it's
idea.
in a book. It's a reading
Rainbow.
You tell you what happens when you have no internet. You start revisiting childhood theme songs in your head.
Yeah,
is what happens. I've done a lot of that this week.
Yeah.
Orange Spice. Aren't you glad I didn't say Spice?
Orange, you glad?
Aren't you glad?
Apple.
GameCube. They just call it GameCube Orange, apparently.
Okay, GameCube Orange.
I guess Spice Orange.
You say
Spice
orange or orange?
Orange.
Orange.
Spice Orange is the official title, I think. Spice Orange.
Orangey, as my brother would say.
I'm not calling it Spice Orange. Wow, Nintendo game Spice Orange, Japanese import. Well, $107. I haven't looked in a while.
My brother couldn't say orange. He would say orange. No, he would say orangey.
Wait, is this just a box? I always get pissed when I get excited about something and it's just a box.
You should be pissed. Yeah.
You should be pissed.
You should be pissed. How pissed are you?
Does not read Japanese games.
No, that's what you get.
All right.
You signed up for the wrong chicken feed. I don't know what that means.
Oh, we doing a show. I forgot. I'm over here retro show.
Yeah, let's do look at you trying to buy stuff. That's fantastic. Let's get into our main topic today, everybody. Let's get our Choco Niki Huki Haka going here.
Shall we play a game?
The actual pronunciation is Cho Aniki, Super Big Brother. And then we're also going to talk about AI, or is it a Choka Aniki?
A. Yes, okay. We're putting the AI in there, but it's just a lowercase I. So it's a Cho Aniki. Now, somebody could go along, say I'm wrong, but that's the way I say it.
That one's called Love Super Big Brother. And these were PC Engine / TurboGrafx 16 / Turbo Duo games.
If you're not familiar with those, the PC Engine was the one outside the US. We got the TurboGrafx 16, the Turbo Duo. that was supposed to be basically a 32-bit system, even though it had a 16-bit processor, and it was supposed to have the Turbo Duo was the cart and the CD, which this was on because it had all this great music. And you'll see why when we talk about this a little bit. It's got so much graphic.
Yeah.
So much graphic.
There's a lot of stuff going on. That device was great at sprites.
Yeah.
No reason why, this thing couldn't have been a bigger hit here in the States, except for the fact that it is a really thematically strange game. We'll get into it, but here's a little audio. Let's play just a bit. And you hear that, and you basically, what you're hearing is like a side-scrolling shooter. Like think, R-Type or
Gradius was.
Gradius,
I compared it most to Gradius. We talked about Gradius a few episodes ago, and it was that same idea of collect a specific item for like a shoot 'em up, and as you build up, you get power ups. So if you collect so much protein on screen, because this is bodybuilder stuff. That's the whole theme of this whole game is bodybuilders. Weirdness.
Yeah. Okay.
And protein.
Here's the thing. There's an aspect of the game that, it's essentially some kind of, I can't even tell what their ultimate intent is, but there's a homoeroticism vibe happening.
Right.
Where you got these if you pick the dude or the girl, so that's the thing I want to mention. You can pick your character when you start the thing. And then she flies around with a couple of half-naked dudes at her side for most of the fighting. You get power-ups and you do all these other things. So think like any of your side-scrolling shooters. But you're blowing up like big naked guy
giant heads, trains with more muscle men on them.
Yep.
Just this weird universe. But when you really break the story down, it's not as bad as you think. It's really the visuals that make this game both make you think that it's a shit game. It also kind of makes it stand out. The underlying gameplay, the Gradius type gameplay
it's good.
Collecting,
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's better. Well. I think it's better than good. I think it's that surprised me. I was playing it and I thought, well, this is supposed to be as bad as I think it is, and it's not. It's kind of like a smooth, fun, challenging, not quite bullet hell, but there's a lot of that going on. So you have to kind of be careful. Like, look at this guy in this. What is this dude doing? And you can't help but be blown away by these visuals because whose idea is this? Who's coming up with these crazy ideas? And you're never not thinking about what you're watching. To me, it's almost like a Monty Python animation gone wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like it feel because the universe feels like cut and paste, right? Like Monty Python. You feel like someone has taken a magazine, an art magazine at that, because there's a lot of the visual sprites in this are just limited animation versions of classic art that you would have seen back in the day, because there's this comparative that's running through this game between how like Michelangelo and some of the great classic the artists of all time created these works of art, but really it's an appreciation of the human form. And bodybuilding is kind of the same thing, but they kind of skewed a little bit towards the homoeroticism, like you said. It's like,
oh yeah,
and it's fine. It's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, we don't care.
But
it's not an issue. It's just a strange decision aesthetically, because it's like, well, all right, you've got like you're killing these giant, not rooks. What are they called in chess? Knights.
Yeah, knights. There were knights on screen earlier.
Yeah, right. And it's in this particular level I'm looking at, and then you've got. Suddenly it's a dude, like a half-naked dude on a harp, and he's the boss. It's like, all right, I'll fight the guy on the boss. And then you have rooks coming at you, kind of chess-like, that are turned to their side and have little wings, and the top of the rook is a pointy finger. Like, it's just nonsense, right? Like, there's nothing here that you're going, oh, of course this all leads to this story point. Like, here's a giant fish with many eyeballs. Like, what's the point of that? Well, the point of it is, let's be weird for no reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. It is, but the 90s in America was marked with a moment of weird. It's like, what is entertainment? Well, if you can make it weird, you might be able to sell it. And I was kind of shocked at what was going on in Japan. I didn't know anything about this until recently. And yeah, they love the weird just as much as we did during the 90s, and they managed to put something together that was fun and interesting to look at.
I would
And,
argue they maybe were more weird than us most of the time. Like we
well,
did
it
weird
definitely
stuff.
feels it's more weird to. So I thought about what weird is, especially when it comes to art form this week, which is like weird a lot of times is when you skip steps in advancement of art. So like let's say you think that art is going in a particular direction, and so you skip a bunch of steps to get to where you think it's going to be, and it is probably wrong, right? It's
Yeah.
probably not going to be that, but you skip a bunch of steps in between. It's kind of like when if you've ever watched old sci-fi TV shows or anything, and whenever they try to portray alien life forms,
Yeah.
and they have like a band or something, they said this is what music would be like, and it seems weird because you skip a whole bunch of steps predicting where it's going to end up,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And so they kind of did that here. So if we were more in the Japanese culture, I think we wouldn't have as many skip steps, right?
Sure.
To us, it looks really weird. To the Japanese people, it probably just seems a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, Ren and Stimpy in our country, made sense to most of us because we all grew up watching cartoons that were kind of relevant to it. But then they put it, mixed it up and made it really weird. Into other markets, it may have seemed super weird.
Yeah, that's
know?
true, because you have different cultural clashes, and they're all gonna react differently.
Right.
I see this one, like this boss right here with this double horse reverse lady in the back, guy in the front thing.
In the front.
Like
It's the
that
guy
is
in the front.
Yeah, look, that's a really awesome design. Like,
Right.
I respect it on 100 levels. It's just,
Satoshi Nakei, I think, is the artist who did Wings of War on the Genesis. If you've ever played that,
I did.
Yeah. So, his visual style, I think, is definitely pumped into this. The actual story of Aniki is basically the Heaven Realm has sent some heroes to fight back a evil Bo Emperor Bill.
Yeah, like you do.
Bill.
Bo Bill.
Right, because Bo Bill has found out he's a 10-time galaxy bodybuilding champion.
Yeah.
And there's a protein shortage, and so he is trying to invade neighboring places to
Neighboring realms, would you say? Neighboring realms, like
yeah, that's a good one. So neighboring realms. I was trying to figure out exactly. It's not really galaxies. It's not. They don't really say. They just say neighbors.
Yeah,
anyway,
because it's not like space. It's like something else.
No.
I don't know what to call it.
So he's basically ravaging these his neighbors, and so the Heaven Realm sends these couple of heroes, and then in this first one it's a little bit different because the Samson, the bodybuilders we think of with the hole in their head they can shoot beams out of, like you do, those guys actually become the face of the franchise in this game. This series goes on forever, by the way. If you don't know about Aniki, you've just been educated about a huge giant series.
Oh yeah, they never stopped. Like you didn't see it over
Never.
here very much, but when you did, you were like, oh weird, I guess we'll never see that again. And you were right, you wouldn't. But if you lived in Japan, you got them all the damn time. They were just like,
you want some more weird? Bring it on. We're getting weird.
Yeah.
But so basically that's the whole story. It's a pretty simple story. You're just fighting aliens from another realm who are trying to harvest protein in your area, and we all know there's a protein shortage. Can't have that, especially in the galaxies that are so concerned with bodybuilders, because that's where the prestige is at.
It's so
Right?
weird. Everything
so
everything you say is weird. That's all weird.
Now something that's a common theme too is all these trains. Now we've got Thomas the Tank Engine who has showed up, with the face on the front of the engine. That's a pretty common theme in this game as well. Lots of times you have little bodybuilders who are managing these trains, and they'll be riding on Rube Goldberg type machines where they power it by leaping from. It's weird.
Yeah.
There, I said it. It's weird. I can't defend this game from its weirdness.
No.
I
Like
will
it's
defend it for its
to me,
fun.
it's the drawing factor. It's the reason you play it.
Yeah.
Like the gameplay's good enough to support it, but the real reason you come to Aniki is the weird ass effing shit you're doing. Yeah. Because it's really effed up. Like it's a fever dream, most of this game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this
And
boss here, this is an amazing boss. So this is I don't even know what to make of it. It's like another train boss. It's got this like sleepy face in the front that keeps rotating around, and then it turns into a big laser eye. I don't, again, I have nothing but respect for the design qualities of this thing.
And the first one released in 92, in the series is really is kind of different than the rest of them going forward. They kind of find a way to become more unique because, like I said, it's basically just Gradius with some, with different sprites and stuff. It's all side scrolling. But then when you get into the later stuff, like the Love Super Big Brother in 95, the Aniki, you start getting, that's when you go in and you start playing the two primary characters that move forward after this, with some appearances occasionally by the two protagonists from the beginning, from the first one. But for the most part, we're all about bodybuilding at this point in time. And it really elevates to another level because the first one, nothing but side scrolling bullet hell. Second one, super unique because you're flying through the air as a bodybuilder and you're performing Street Fighter type moves while also playing as a shooter. So you're constantly moving, but you're performing all these Street Fighter level combos to defeat the enemies, and they leaned even more into the weird.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's also these two guys swinging by. Good Lord. The second one is a much more dialed in perspective. Like you're way more zoomed in. Obviously, you're kind of a guy floating. They're more detailed sprites. You're like right up in front of them. It's just a different game, very different game, I thought. I mean, you're still side-scrolling shooting, but they really lean into, hey, what if we got closer to this insanity?
They recognize that the sprites were the selling point of this game, right? Yeah. They're like, okay, being big, just a visual feast of oddness. So there's the girl from I don't know if you saw, but the one of the goddesses from the first one shows back up in the second one to kind of drop off some power-ups for you. Little sprinkles. Some sprinkles for you.
Sure. Everybody needs that. Look at the timer thing up top. There's a little guy doing squats up there. Look at that.
Yeah, there's a timer for squats. You have like a health mechanic this time around. That's a little bit more easy to see. And like you said, a timing mechanic. You got stages. You're still collecting protein, but you're flexing all the way through. The most interesting mechanic to this one, though, is your defensive move. Your defensive move is you can't shoot, but you can spin. So if you're going to have a collision with an object, you can spin through it.
Yeah, it creates it's an immunity spin.
And it's unlimited as far as I know.
Yeah, you can just keep using it. And you're when I played it anyway, it seemed like I could keep using it as far as I know. It doesn't ever change, but it was cool because most of these games don't give you that. You just got to dodge shit, and this game gave you like a little bit of a way out of it. And I appreciated it. Let's see, look at this lady. What's going on here? Is she going to be naked in a minute? Right. Oh my gosh! All right.
No, but it's important because not only do you do the side scrolling, but you also do vertical. So they kind of took the whole idea of let's go to the Gradius too. Let's get vertical as well. And so those areas get really difficult, in my opinion, because they just take up the whole darn screen. The boss fights are amazing, though. Like you said, you're talking about the lady who's. She's just dancing. She's a diva rock star, dancing around, flashing in and out, and you gotta take hits when you can, baby. You gotta take your hits when you can. Bodybuilding stuff.
This game, this part of this game would give you the seizures if you're not careful.
Oh yes, they were definitely not in the 90s. I don't think on video games. I don't think they were concerned about your seizures. Yeah. If you seized out, that was all the better.
Yeah,
for them.
That was
right.
Actually, it was a game feature, not a flaw, not a thing you would warn people about. It's a real weird thing. I came into this a little skeptical because part of the reason we were covering this one is we were going to do kind of a quick holdover for everybody because you were leaving town, and we were like, well, we'll just make this quick or whatever. So I had some concerns about it as an actual like fun thing to play.
Right.
And what ended up happening is I got kind of all hooked on it, like.
Yeah,
especially the second
same
one.
Way.
I just could not stop playing it. Now, I did not play past the two that we're talking about today. I didn't play any of these other Aniki spin outs and all the Japanese stuff that came out. But I played this one the most, and it look at these guys with the cones on their head. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, they got cones. So these guys have, if you need a visual cue, they're wearing like the orange cones.
Yeah, traffic cones. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're averse to men in speedos with lots of muscles, this may not be the game for you. But yeah, it's
Or
it's
they're
so much
big, they're
fun.
big
Though.
freaking wiener packages. Look at this guy with his.
Yeah, he's packing for sure.
Yeah, they knew what they were
and
doing.
if you can, I think that's probably the hardest part, trying to stay focused in on shooting the right things while not being, while not laughing
Mhm.
and trying to be distracted by, because it's got sprite zooms in this one. A lot of parallaxing backgrounds, especially in the first one. It was a big feature in the first one, not as much in this one. The backgrounds aren't necessarily as prevalent, but you have things that are sprite scaling where these muscle bound guys will come flying at you with their crotch all front forward.
Yep.
It's a distraction.
Yeah, it's a very distracting thing, but you can shoot him,
Right.
and you can kill him.
You can shoot them.
And that's the important thing.
You can use your was it? I guess if you're afraid of that kind of thing, guess what? You can take care of them. Oh, here come the frog heads.
Yep.
It's the frog heads, heads with frog legs on them.
Yeah, never forget, right? Yeah, it's a weird series. I recommend checking it out, you guys, for real. And I think that the soundtrack is great. That's the other thing I liked about it.
Now it gets weird because so Cho Aniki's Super Big Brother translated. A Cho Aniki is Love Super Big Brother, and we feature our characters going forward from those guys. Samson and Aiden, I believe, are the two primary characters you'll see going forward. And these all came out pretty quick together. 92, 95 for that second one, and also released about the same time was a one for the PlayStation in Japan. Cho Aniki, I'm not even going to try to say it, but the translation is something like the ultimate and invincible, most galactical, powerful man, or something like that.
Okay, I'll just take your word for it because wow,
the ultimate, most strongest man in the Milky Way, or something like that. Anyway, it's a really long title, and that one's people seem to like a lot because it combines a little bit of the first one and the second one together, and it's on the PlayStation. Should be fairly easy to get because you probably already run in PlayStation emulation, right?
Yeah, I didn't play the PlayStation. I didn't do anything on PlayStation. I played the PC Engine games.
I played it for a few minutes.
Yeah,
it was
all right.
Yeah, it
it
was good. I could see where they were going with it, but I wanted to stay with the originals.
Yeah, no, the OGs are where I'm at. And here, okay, I have a belief after playing this. You want to hear my belief? I have a new belief.
Please give me your belief.
My belief is that if they released a modern Cho Aniki game, and I don't mean like a up-res 4K widescreen. I don't mean that. I mean like a new a brand new game using kind of 2.5D tech, do something in Unreal or Unity, make it look real pretty or whatever. Go nuts with these strange visuals. Same deal, weird muscle man flying through space, shooting shit. You would have a massive hit on your hands on Steam. You would crank cash if you sold one of these now.
Like during this time, like 70s, 80s, and into the 90s especially, was a huge bodybuilding maybe revolution. I mean, that's when we got Arnold Schwarzenegger. We got all of the bodybuilding I think of today.
Yeah.
Has that continued forward? Are we do a revival of bodybuilding, or is that just kind of past? And if not, what is our new visual bodybuilding that would be proper to put into a new
here would be what CrossFit is what we do over here.
Oh, some CrossFit characters. I could see that.
But I just think you just need the insanity of this again. You don't have to try to match modern sensibilities. I think you just make one of these, but in a modern way, and with the kind of graphical treatment that we're used to today. Still make it side-scrolly 2.5D or whatever, maybe some cool 3D transitions or whatever, but just make a crazy one of these and have it be really fun and a great shooter.
Right.
Give me some dual stickery,
Some dual stickery.
I'm playing that game. Oh my gosh, this boss. All right, sorry. You guys have to see this.
I
love
this.
Though, look at these guys. They fall off these boingers and then just do like a little roll. It is the most amazing boss fight. Hold on. Back it up. Look at this. Look at this, chat.
When you look at it.
These little tiny guys jumping off like they're the Olympic divers.
Oh, is this the train where Oh, this is so good. This is our first boss.
I love it so much.
In Cho Aniki. Yeah, it defines what you can expect because once again we got the train face kind of characters going around. And how do they power the things? They jump off. That's the whole weaponry.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Why not? Why not? That's the best way to describe this game. It should be called Why Not.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Cho Aniki translates directly to English to Why Not.
I didn't know. So Cho Aniki, Love Super Big Brother from 1995, was on the magazine debut of a magazine, or I guess what became a movement. I guess is it Kusoje? Kusoje? It literally means shit games. Essentially, what it means. So they had a whole magazine dedicated to shit games in Japan, and
I love that.
Yeah, did we have the equivalent here in the U.S. of Shit Games magazine? Did we?
No, I thought GamePro sucked, but that was just me.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think so. Nothing that focused on just like kind of garbage. Like these days, you can find a million YouTube essays or stuff about things like this. So it's not hard. But I love the idea of a magazine dedicated to nothing but like garbage, not garbage, but like obscurity and. Where did this come from, and why is this being made? And that'd be fun time.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I'm working on a thing. Well, you know that because I put you in the group.
Oh yeah. We should have called it that. We should have called it
Shit Games. Yeah.
Shit Gamezine.
Yeah. Shit Gamezine. That's not bad. Tell me about these egg console things. This is something I don't know.
Yeah.
I know shit all about. So let's explain it to people.
So before before me and you really got interested in game preservation and all that kind of stuff, there's been game preservation for a really long time. Project Egg was a project to bring some of these NEC type of games to different markets.
Mm-hmm.
And so it allowed you to play NEC, all those, the PC 9801 and the FM7s and all that stuff. It all run on basically like a Windows, version of Windows of some sort.
Sure,
anyway,
sure.
I might be getting that wrong. Let us know if I'm wrong. But anyway, this is a way so you could play these on Windows. So if you were back in the day, so just like today, a lot of us head to our specialty stores where we got imports of Japanese anime. Same thing was going on in the gaming markets, right? And so they were wanting, hey, I want some of that weirdness from Japan, and this is one way to do it, Project Egg. And it's continued on because you can actually get whole Project Egg type games on the Nintendo Switch. Unfortunately, they don't have the Cho Aniki series on there, but hopefully they will bring it in some form or fashion going forward. But yeah, so the Project Egg, just engrossing game gallery, I think is what it stands for. And I played a few of these.
You like them?
Yeah, it ran fine. Yeah,
they're okay.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
ran fine.
I feel like there's a ton. That's the thing, is there's so many in here.
There is, because there's so many. I mean, okay, look, America made a lot of games, right? And a lot of the games that we have, we had like shovelware games for a while, like especially for like the Commodore 64, the 8-bit era. We just had games galore. As part of the reason why we had the video game crashes, because there was no quality control.
Yeah.
And you couldn't tell when you were purchasing games, you couldn't tell between what was going to be shit and what was going to be good.
Yeah.
And so Japan had the same thing. And but I want to maybe some of their games that were a little bit, their shit games are a little bit better in my opinion in some cases, I think.
Yeah. No, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. The gameplay was there a lot of them.
Yeah, that's what I guess I'm saying. Or I think that's the part I agree with the most. Like if we had a comparison, it would be we made plenty of weird shovelware garbage games.
Right.
But not many of them the gameplay wasn't always there.
Yeah.
And
the most important part.
Yeah. And I'm not saying there aren't some duds in Japan. Clearly, there are duds.
Obviously.
But this is an example this is one of those examples I would point people to and say, give it a chance. Go play it. It's fun. It's a good time.
It's good times.
Yeah. Really like it.
You will not regret. Because like I said, once you get past all the weirdness, it's a solid game underneath. Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff under there. Go check it out. All right. Before we play our regular game that we play, I want to play a little game with you. Okay. I'm surprising you at this. You don't know what this is. Some music from Victory Heat Rally. Pretty good. Tell me this doesn't sound like a Sega intro. Check it out.
I love it.
Anyway, really good stuff.
Jacked up. I'm ready to play.
All right, here's the game. I'm going to put a series of silhouette controllers on screen. for you and the listeners, for you to decide if you know what that is simply by its silhouette. This should be pretty easy for you, but
All right, let's see.
we'll see if you screw any of these up.
I'm
All
gonna probably
right,
screw them all up.
here's number 1. Let's put it in the two places it
check.
belongs. Here we go. You'll be in Discords where you'll see it.
All right, let me take a look at it.
All right, what controller are we looking at there?
Oh, that was super easy. I was making love to this earlier. That's the GameCube.
He had his wiener in the GameCube. You heard it here first,
Yeah,
folks.
we showed this earlier. It's the GameCube.
All right.
I love that controller.
How about this one? Tell me what this is.
That is the PS2. Is
You
that
are
the
correct.
PS2?
Nicely done.
Okay, PS2.
PS2
controller.
is
All right.
correct.
Gets a little trickier because they get kind of
They get a little
those
samey.
PlayStation controllers. Yeah, a little samey.
A little samey for sure. All right. How about this one?
Maybe I should go slower so that everybody. Well, they should be seeing it at the same time. I'll go a little bit slower.
No,
All right.
you're fine. I mean, they're seeing it at the same
I'll
time.
him and
you're seeing
haul
it.
so that the chat room have time to do it.
All right. What do you think of that one? What do you think?
Is this the PS5 controller?
Is that your answer?
Yeah, PS5.
Chicken.
Nope. It's the PS4 controller. PS4.
4.
All right. Next
What's giving it away?
one.
What's giving it away? What was my giveaway?
They're very similar, but there's a different shape.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, the shape is a little more smooth. It's a little more curved. All right, that's the Xbox 360 controller.
That
I
is
said that too soon. I
100%
apologize.
correct. You got it.
Apologize. I went
No,
too
you didn't
fast.
go
Went
too fast. You're fine. You're good.
Right.
People are seeing it when you're seeing it.
Right,
Okay,
right.
let me give you this one. What do you think of that one? That should be easy.
All right. This is actually hard. You say it's easy, but what I'm looking at right now, listener, is I'm looking at a brick essentially.
Yeah.
So
It could be a number of bricks. There are a few bricks from that era. So
yeah, we had the Master System that was a brick like this, the NES, which is a brick like this, and we had a couple other systems as well that all were brick. I think even was the PC Engine kind of like this one too.
It was,
I
yeah,
can't remember.
kind of. I may have some curves on it or something, but I think this was it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the NES.
You are
just
correct.
because-
Nicely
All right,
done.
good.
You did
All
it.
right.
You did not screw that up. Not that I thought you would. All right. Next up, we have.
This is fun. This is tougher than you think.
Yeah, it's just a little fun little thing I thought of yesterday.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. I love this. This is one of my favorite controllers from one of my first, actually my second game console system. This is your Sega Genesis.
Your
Mega Drive.
three button
Three
Genesis.
button. You're so three button.
Yeah, close enough. Well done.
Yeah,
All right, this is the most obvious one on the planet, but I'll give it to you anyway. If you don't get this, then we're not friends anymore. There
Okay,
you go,
okay.
right there. What do you got?
Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. I can't figure out how I want to hold this controller. Should give the listener a little bit of a clue on this. It was one of the first games I played that was really 3D on my my N64, Nintendo N64.
N64 is correct.
Yeah, my
Nicely done.
Ultra.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you one more here, or three more, but this is your third to last. What do we got
Oh yes. Once again, this completes my my. I didn't get a Sega Saturn back in the day, but I went from the Master System Genesis, and then I went straight to Dreamcast.
Yep,
with
that would
my
be
VM
correct.
unit.
Nicely
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Although I was hoping it would confuse you because there was that weird Pi controller
There-
for the Saturn that kind of looks like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little more round. I've been wanting to get that one for the Saturn.
All right, here comes one that probably
Knights in
you'll
the
get.
Dreams.
This seems easy. What do you think that is?
Oh, this is my I have such a love-hate relationship with this. This is a much more modern controller. And you've got it, and it's actually docked. The Joy-Cons are docked in here on our Switch.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Final one. Now this one I could have. You know what? I could. Well, no, I'm not going to cheat it. I'll just give it to you the way I made it.
Cheat me.
I was going to make it lay it the other way. If I laid it like horizontal, you might go, that's
Yeah.
interesting, but-
This is a few generations back, and I think even horizontal, I think I would recognize that big giant candy bar of a controller that is for the Wii.
Nice. You are
Yeah,
correct. Well done. Well done indeed, Brian.
Yeah.
Well
Which
done
one did I
indeed.
miss? Which one did I get stumped on? I got all of them except for one.
PlayStation 4. You thought?
Oh,
was
that
a
was
5.
right. The PlayStation they get so samey, like you said earlier.
Yeah, the 4. Let's see. I have one here. Or 5. 5 is just a slightly different, more like it's got these
it's a
kind
little more
of
curved.
tapered ends on them, and the whole thing's got more of a curve on it. Yeah,
Right.
which
That was
you know,
fun.
good controller. I like the 5.
Yeah.
I like the 5 a lot.
I like
well,
five. Five's one of the best controllers out there. Baby.
yeah, oh yeah.
I want to get that Pro thing too. The expensive one. haven't pulled yet the trigger, but I really want to get it. Okay, I
did
really
do-
want the PS5.
I did do
Pro
the
thing.
Series 2 of the Elite from Microsoft. I really like this controller a lot.
Yeah,
This thing is awesome. I didn't realize how much stuff I could add to it. All these paddles, and I've shortened my stick or my they're analog triggers, but you can stop. You can create 3 levels of stoppage, so they can be just like barely, just like a quick click, or they can be deep in there. So depending on the game you're playing or whatever, racing games for more crank, and then if you're shooting, you'd rather have like a shorter trigger. I really like it. And that D-pad, as dumb as it looks, the little freaking receiver dish looking thing, that's a legit D-pad. I love it.
What we'll need to do next time is we'll have to do remote controls that come with systems, especially like in that PS2 Xbox era. Remember when you get the standalone remote controls? This is my PS2 remote control.
I have one of those. That was great.
Look how many buttons on that thing, man. That's crazy amounts of buttons.
Because you had a DVD player finally. It was like, whoa, look at this. And then the Blu-ray on the PS3, I had that controller. It was longer. It was like a big old donger.
Longer?
Donger. All right, well, now we're going to play the game we always play, which is this.
Destroy it.
All right, time to play Guess My Game. We take 2 old games, and we tell each other the platform and year, but we don't say much more than that. We give you 4 answers that are possible, and it's all based on audio we're going to play. So, Brian, I'm going to play me first, and you're going to have to guess what the F this is.
Play me.
I'm going to play you. Here you go. Oh, I forgot to say, and I'll say it real quick. It is Arcade 1985. Arcade 85.
Right. I missed the arcade.
I'm waiting for this next pick because I think this might help. That beep, boop, 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 beep, 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 boop.
Super familiar with the audio, but man, I cannot visualize it. Give me my choices.
Well, the chat room thinks it's Choplifter, and they would be wrong.
Absolutely. This is Chop
Suey Lifter. Here is your possible answers. A, Space Invaders Deluxe.
Okay,
B,
could be that.
Kamikaze 3. C, Space Invaders 85. Or D, Return of the Invaders.
Oh, no. These are all real games, right?
Those are all real games, and I mean, I've obviously packed it pretty heavy with Space Invader possibilities. I'm not saying that you should use that as any sort of hint, but, you may have noticed.
Right.
So again, we got Space Invaders Deluxe, Kamikaze 3, Space Invaders 85, or Return of the Invaders.
Oh man, I've played a lot of Invaders, and the problem is they're all blurring together. I'm gonna take Kamikaze 3 off the board, even though since it's unique, it's probably the answer. But I'm getting rid of the B. Space Invaders Deluxe, Space Invaders 85. I don't think it's the D, so don't give me the D, Scott.
I'm not going to give you the D.
Yourself.
Yeah.
So when I'm floundering between A's and C's, I usually go with C because C is usually the answer. Total guess, Space Invaders 85.
Let's see if it is. Is it Space Invaders 85? Where's the... There. Incorrect.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
The game is Return of the Invaders. D.
Oh, I don't remember that one at all. Maybe
I do remember this. I had it. My dad had one. It was in the basement.
Right.
And we'd rescued it. Well, we'd rescued it from a Pizza Hut where we had it previously. That's where we were collecting quarters for it. And the Pizza Hut version, or the one that was in the Pizza Hut, somebody had jammed something into the coin slots and effed it up. And so my dad's like, I'm just going to take it back. It was a local one, and I'll work on it at home. And then he left it there, and we just played the living shit out of it.
Oops.
It's a weird game, dude. It's like,
I like it.
Moving bases. So the Space Invader bases are there, but they move. And then the Space Invaders sometimes coalesce. They go up top and become a master ship type thing you have to fight. I mean, it was definitely in the vein of Space Invaders, but they really shook things up. It's very, very strange.
Now,
it's a very strange
it's
game.
all over the place.
The sounds were very annoying, as you can tell by the audio I played.
I like that your dad had to save it. Like, did Pizza Hut ever question your father? Like, it's like, I'm just gonna roll this machine on out of here. Don't worry about it.
No,
So they didn't feel like Cindy Lou Who, like the Grinch came and said, I'm gonna fix your tree or anything like that.
No, it's never like that because the deal was he got them in there. All these basically it was in the sitting area where you'd wait to get your table.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember him. I
Yeah,
loved him.
and so he'd put these these cocktail machines in there, and the deal was that he had to come manage them. Meaning, if they were broken, he'd fix them. If he when it was time to empty quarters, he would do all that, and then he would give them a percentage of the take. And I don't know what that was, but that was the deal he had arranged with people. So all they cared about was, did it work, and did he hand us money? That's it.
All the workers cared about was, would you please fix that thing? Because if one more kid comes over here and says, I took my quarter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch a kid.
It's like,
we're here for pizza.
I put a Canadian quarter in there and it ate it.
Right. Get it.
All right, Brian, let's do yours. Tell me what platform and year before we go here.
Absolutely. So we were kind of in the same thought process this week. I'm also at the arcade, but a few years later, 1990. And I also had a theme. Let's see if you can figure it out.
All right, here we go. This is really familiar. All right, give me my options. Let's see if I can do this.
All right, you're the arcade. It's 1990. You're listening to those sound effects, and you got to figure out, is this A, Weltris, B, Hatris, C, Super Tetris, D, Blockseed?
Blockseed? These are all real games?
Blockseed? Oh, these are all real games.
Okay.
Weltris, Hatris, Super Tetris, or Blockseed?
Something is familiar about the Blockseed. This feels like maybe it was trying to be a Tetris ripoff. They all are, though, on here. Super Tetris is the only official one, but Hatris, Weltris. I played
They're
Weltris.
all Tetris-like games. How about that? Tetris clones.
For some reason,
Tetris proper.
D's jumping out at me. I don't know why. I'm going to say Blockseed. I don't know.
All right, Scott says, give me the D, and I'm going to tell you that you need to give yourself one of those raspberries.
Damn it. Not it?
Oh, no. Instead, you want a theme. You want a B, Hatris.
Oh, shit. Hatris. Well, let's see
So if you don't,
So Blockseed was a similar game, though, right? Wasn't Blockseed like a drop-down shape thing? Okay.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, these are all drop-down games. You're pattern matching so that you can clear screens and stuff. But Hatris took a little bit different. It said, well, let's do a hat trick. And if you stack hats in the right order, you can clear those.
Is that really what that was? Hold on.
That was what it was. It was real. It was hats. It was a thing.
Let's see if I can find it real quick.
Stack the hats.
Hatris. Oh, it didn't come up right away.
Oh, did I spell it wrong?
Well, I don't know. Hatris.
If I spelled it wrong, then you win.
Arcade. Long play.
That's our rule.
Oh, here we go. I found it. Oh, it is hats.
All
it's like little hats.
Yeah, little hats.
Oh my gosh, I don't think
It's
I
got
played
all
this.
the little Russian little themes and everything, but it's just, it's got hats.
And little dudes down there. Little Agent Smiths getting their hats. That's fantastic. You know what?
Yeah.
I would play Hatris. I would play that right now. Maybe I will later. Maybe I will.
It's on the NES too, but I think that's where I played it at. But I had many more Tetris clones in the arcade, so I'm going to go with the arcade version.
Yeah, that's great. Kind of want to go check them all out. Well done. Today I win, and today you win.
Sweet.
We both won, is what I'm saying.
We won. We won and lost all at the same time.
Welcome to Retro. Our old 20-year pal, Mortal Kombat Deception, turns 20 now.
Oh, no.
Yep. That happened in
old.
October of 2020. Or let's see. It's the 6th main installment of the game. Sequel to 2002's Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. It was released for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox in October of the year 2020 or 2004, which puts it 20 years in our rear view. Welcome to Retro.
Can you believe that? The 6th installment of Mortal Kombat is now 20 years
It's
old.
also a bad game, by the way.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. We're welcoming you to Retro. This is not Hall of Fame. This is just you're old.
This is just you're old. Welcome to being old. You're here. It is weird to think that game is. Let's see how does that work. Nick was the year that came out. Nick was 4 years old. I had a 4-year-old baby boy. Right.
Yeah.
He is now 24 and has a 2-year or almost 1-year-old daughter.
Wow.
Think of that.
Yeah.
Think of that. You know.
I would like to, but I can't. I'm too old.
How do you go from 4-year-old kid bopping around going, Bob the Builder, and then suddenly 20 years later, he's like, I got to change a diaper, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And thank God it's not you that's got to change the diaper.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's the best award of all.
Well, I did one because they weren't here and I was
that's
babysitting.
crap.
It's fine. I don't mind. She's a sweetie. I'll change her diaper.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because you're not on the conveyor belt of diaper changes. You're on the occasional. They called you in to help out.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, if you ever want to watch that that I Love Lucy scene in a very different way, you know what I'm talking about? Where the chocolate thing?
Eating, where they're trying to pull the chocolates off the conveyor belt, and then she gets too much, and so she starts shoving them everywhere in her bra and her mouth. Yeah,
it's a lesson in trying to do too much automation too quickly and not ramping up slow enough. There's a whole metaphor there, but if you imagine that these are poops she has to eat. She's consuming little poops. It's a horrifying scene. Horrifying.
See, that's how you make a new Aniki.
Yeah,
it's all about diapers.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bring it in.
There's a baby pooping diapers out their butt, so you don't have to see the poop.
Just have
they just have
and have the muscle men wearing diapers. I'm all in on this. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
We got some listener feedback to get to. Let's go ahead and do that now. Here you go.
Welcome to the treasure room.
We got it in the form of 2 texts this week that came to 801-471-0462. And here's the first one. It says, "Hey, for the Play Retro guys, how could you not recall the lead from Spaceballs in Lone Star?"
It's true.
He says,
it's true.
And his sidekick, Kick Barf, still waiting for the Spaceballs prequel to Dark Helmet's development. Yeah, no name on this one, by the way. So thanks, whoever this was. Yeah. I don't know why we didn't think about it.
Look, it's kind of like how I talk about when I'm playing games on Twitch. It's like sometimes when you're a Twitcher, you get shit for playing things on easy mode, but you're not really playing on easy mode. You're playing a game while talking to people in a chat room while trying to be entertaining, and it's a lot of juggling of balls. And the same with Spaceballs. It's like if you're sitting at having a casual conversation with someone at dinner. And you say, "Give me a second. I think it's Lone Star and Barf." It's a lot different than if you just spent 2 hours trying to put together Aniki information.
Yeah,
and then trying to remember Spaceballs.
And I have no shame about it. Like I'm playing the remake of Silent Hill 2 right now because someone bought it.
Oh,
so I got to play it.
Nice.
And I'm doing it on stream, and I unapologetically changed it to easy combat. I'm not in there for the freaking challenge, dude.
Oh,
freaking forget it. No way.
But I will say, I always I'm always surprised to see a Barf when I go to conventions and stuff. Someone's always dressing up as Barf.
There's always a Barf.
Yeah, I love it. It's so good. It's such a good
Don't
costume.
see Darth Helmet that much because I think it's hard to make the helmet or Dark Helmet.
Really difficult. It's huge.
Yeah, I think that's hard. That's very difficult to do.
Yeah. Is it Darth Helmet or Dark Helmet?
It's Dark. I said Darth. I meant Dark.
Yeah. I always say Darth too, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they're doing there. Let's see. We also got this one. Goes like this. Also anonymous. Says, "Hey there. Normally a core listener, not really into retro game person, but I do listen to Play Retro just to hear you and Brian talk." Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah. You guys were talking about Birdo from Super Mario Brothers 2. And if she is in any other Mario games, as a casual Mario Tennis enjoyer, I can confirm she is in Mario Tennis whenever it's called, or whatever it's called, on the Switch. She is a power character, and I've never played her. I play Koopa Troopa all day, son.
Yeah.
It says, "Take care for all the great sound you put in my ears." I didn't know Birdo was in the tennis game. I had no idea.
It kind of makes sense though, because she's kind of like she's almost like a tennis ball machine, right?
Does that what she does? She shoots a tennis ball out of her.
I don't know. I would love it if she did. Plus, we'll have to talk about Mario Tennis one day. We haven't really talked about the Mario sports games.
But
the tennis was a standout. The golf and the tennis.
Tennis, and that's Strikers one on the Wii, and the new Switch one. And then there's what was there's an old.
Don't let no name get us not knowing things.
Well, I can't remember. So I'm just trying to think of the classics. We got golf,
right?
Technically, kart is sort of, Mario Kart's kind of.
It's just sporty, right?
Right. What else am I thinking of? They never made a football game. Oh, the baseball game on the GameCube.
Oh, the baseball! I always forget about the baseball game, but that was really good. I
loved
it. I can play that one.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
The golf ones are my favorites, but maybe one of these days we do an episode that is just our top 3 or something.
I think I like the tennis one better because there's so many great kind of cutesy golf games that I feel like that's kind of a crowded market. But the tennis, the silly tennis that Mario does, I think is just it stands
yeah,
out.
but that
I like that.
GBA tennis or golf game is so good.
Yes.
Advanced golf.
Ooh, advanced golf.
Yeah, that's what they did. This is a Nintendo thing, right? Super everything, and then everything 64, and then advance like. They may as well. They don't do it anymore. But what if Switch games were called Switch Mario, or some shit like that?
They really didn't do it. They did it all the way up to the Wii, didn't they? They didn't really do.
Oh yeah, like Wii
from the
Sports
Super all the way up to the Wii.
Yeah.
And then when they got to the Switch, I'm trying to think of any that was specific to that.
Maybe it's because the Game Boy stuff never really had that name convention.
Right.
Or I guess some DS games did. It'd be like something DS, you know.
Interesting.
It's a weird thing that other companies just don't do this. It's a weird thing Nintendo does. Anyway, I want to play that new Zelda game so bad.
Oh yes, I'm very excited.
It's like, do I want to dust off my Switch? Kind of, I do. I don't know.
Man, I told you they keep coming out with Nintendo's really doing it right now with the titles, but I want to get a new system.
Yeah,
I gotta wait.
I feel like that's where I'm at. And if the rumors are true that they're going to be truly backwards compatible for the first time properly, well, then I should wait and buy it. There's a bunch of games I want to play that I've missed in this year that I will catch up on. I just don't want to. I don't want to fire up my 2017 freaking old ass Switch.
Right. And also, just to frame this for people that are listening in the future, this week they announced a $100 alarm clock called Alarmo that you're going to forget about.
Oh, we didn't talk about it. Oh man,
right. You're going to forget about it in a couple of years.
Alarmo,
but that's the time
dude.
we're at with Nintendo.
Yeah, hats off, Hattress off to Nintendo for doing weird shit like that.
I wanted so much, but I just can't. I can't justify the $100 for a cool ass alarm clock that.
If it was my
sleeping buddy,
is
going to tell me to get rid of.
Yeah, if it was $49.99, you'd have me. Okay,
I don't even know if it's the prices that's a problem. I just can't. I can't imagine that I will put that because it's not targeted towards me, of course. But putting that is very cute. I love it. I love the big giant knob on the top. I love the graphics. I love the idea of downloading, new themes. But it's obviously not made for someone like me who has a sleeping partner. It's going to be bad. It's not made for people with sleeping partners. You can't do it.
No.
No.
Also, I want them to make other appliances. I want there to be a refrigerator. I want a microwave.
I will tell you this, though. I am very happy with how Nintendo handled this. So you can order it now if you're a Nintendo Online subscriber. So that keeps all the scalpers from stealing all these things.
Yeah, they get early access.
You don't have to have a Nintendo Online. This is some confusion, though.
It won't stop, but it's not going to stop scalpers. It's just going to mean that there will be probably a little less scalpers, and there will still be scalpers who also have. They'll just have a Nintendo Online, so they get the advantage of getting it early, and then they'll scalp them anyway.
Right, but I mean, that's the problem, right? Because you have to create an account for each one you buy, right? Because I don't think you can buy multiple ones on the same account.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so it's at least going to slow it down, so the availability is there. Whether people actually want this or not, I can't say. But it's really one of the coolest new things that I've seen in a while. But I just don't know if we're going to even be talking about it in a year.
Probably not, but it's an important thing to mention. You do not require a sub to use the thing. You require a sub to be on the early list of get it before next year if you want it that bad. If you are subbed to their online thing. If you're not subbed, that doesn't mean that when it's available at retail or whatever that you can't use it. There's not a subscription to use the clock.
Yeah. Now, if you want to download, I don't know how they're going to sell the new ones when they're coming out with them, but they've got new themes and stuff right now. I think it starts with Mario, some what is the Ring Fit thing, Zelda, and what was it, Splatoon, a few things like that. But then they're going to expand on it later on. I'm not sure if that's going to be like a single purchase or if it's part of the online service.
They'll probably sell that as individual packs or something, if I had to guess.
That's how that'd probably the guess.
Yeah. And maybe if you're sub, you get some access to that. But I don't know. It's a weird thing. Alarmo. Catch it.
Alarmo.
Yeah.
Catch it if you can.
Yeah. Don't forget, they made a game with paper and cardboard
Yeah, bro. See, I forgot about Labo. Was that
That's
what
Labo.
that's called? Labo? Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah, Labo turned out to be a little bit lame-o, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Wow, I totally forgot about Labo just 5 minutes ago. Jesus.
Tondagosa says Wario better than Mario. Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he is.
I love Wario. I'm a huge deep-seated fan of Wario.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna win. He's such a dick. Just the greatest dick in video game history. That gives me an idea. I'm gonna do a little. I got an idea. Anyway, let's move on from this. Thank you, listeners. 801-471-0462 is where those texts came. If you'd like to email us, playretroshow@gmail.com. And that text line, by the way, doubles as a voicemail line, so you can leave voicemails there. Let's get to the Retro Report. Look, if you like it, you better get in there now because Roller Coaster Tycoon and its server that we set up, Unreal Tournament 99 and 04, are up there. Doesn't mean they'll be there forever. So take advantage of it now at retrogib.com. Brian, anything else to add to that? You got anything going on there?
Yeah, the plan was to rotate some of those servers out for other games, and that was about a day before the hurricane came in and changed those plans. So it's on pause until I finish recovering, and then we'll figure it out. We'll move forward with some new game servers.
Yeah, it's an intense life for a hurricane survivor like Brian.
Yeah,
and he's got to get his stuff together.
2 weeks
right?
of no internet.
How are you gonna live, man?
Good.
You guys lost? Didn't you guys lose like some trees that are like ancient trees? And
oh, dude, yeah, all the big trees. They were not all of them, but a lot of big trees were like, I'm going down.
Yeah,
right in your house.
That's a lot of trees. Nobody wants trees to go away. That's nature, baby.
Yeah, but we got pretty lucky. Our people north of us had a lot more damage, like the wind and the trees. You can kind of hide from for the most part.
Sure.
Most people aren't going to get killed from that as long as they're inside. There are some exceptions, but the flooding is the most dangerous part. It's really hard to escape flooding, and we lost a lot of people north to us to flooding. But we got pretty lucky. Most of us we did have one death in the city I live in that was related to a tree falling through a house, but otherwise.
Imagine that being the way you go. Big old tree just crushes your house and you with it. Man. I don't like that at all, dude.
No, scary.
Well, I'm glad you fared decently. Brian, let's now talk about our next game. We're going to talk about Postal from 1997. A lot of people have been asking for Postal.
Yes.
All right. For years now, people have been saying, you guys should do Postal. I didn't play Postal, so I'm going to finally end up playing Postal. I know all about it. I know it's controversies and all that stuff, but I never actually played Postal, which was, pretty controversial in its day. And
it was. And you can't live on controversy alone and be a well-remembered game. So the gameplay, I was the same way when I played it back in the day. I was like, oh, what is this? Got a little controversy around it. Let me check it out. Gameplay's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's why
people like it. Now, Postal 2, different issue. Not a great game. It's okay, but it's not great. They tried to revive it with Postal. Was it a recent one? Postal 4, I think?
Yeah. Right. 2018. What was it? When did they come out with another Postal?
Let me look that up.
2018? Is that right?
Postal 4, No Regrets. Oh, 2022 is pretty recent. A couple years.
Oh, wow. It's a little closer than I thought.
It was a lot of mixed reviews on that one.
Yeah.
This was a full new game, though, right? Let's see.
Yeah.
Dubbed as the worst. Postal 2 has been dubbed the worst game ever. It says here. Where they're just leaning into it.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was bad, but I didn't think it was worst game ever bad. Wow,
yeah, that's a tall order when you say worst game ever. You're really that's some hyperbole. There's too many games. There's no way. There's some at least. There's got to be some bottom floor stuff that's absolutely tied at the very least for worst games ever. Anyway, that'll be next week. I'm looking forward to it. Postal. Go play. Get ready. 1997's Postal. Otherwise, go support us on Patreon. We got some brand new folks over there. Patreon.com/playretro. Wait, it's Play Retro Show, isn't it?
Oh.
Well, no, it's Play Retro.
It's Play Retro.
It's just Play Retro. I'm thinking of our email address. Well, I'm an idiot. Play Retro over on Patreon. Patreon.com/playretro. Warped Forge. We loved him. He's amazing. I always say warped. Warp Forged.
Yep. Warp Forge.
I always want to say Warped Forge. Anyway,
Makes sense.
Starship Tech and Eric Neubauer, they have all joined us. And why have they? Because they get no commercials. They get pre-show content every week. Why wouldn't you want those things? Go get all the benefits. Slurp them up at patreon.com/playretro. For all else, you'll find it on our website, frogpants.com/playretro. Brian, is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
Yeah, I've been jonesing for some protein all week, so I'm gonna go eat two canisters full of that now.
Oh my gosh, you are.
Aniki!
You should do it. Aniki yourself into a tizzy.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pour myself I'm gonna blend up some protein, and then I'm gonna scream Aniki as I guzzle it.
That's what you should do, and we should all witness it. Put it on the internet. It's all content until it isn't.
It's all content.
That's it, everybody. Go play something retro. We'll see you next week.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
Wow. Ria.